that nurtured me. And today, if I am such as I am, for better or for worse, I owe it to Uganda and to the people of Uganda. Uganda is a land, therefore, in need of radical renewal, radical reinvention, a land which is in need of a new radical order. Nothing short of that will give our people and our country a chance to hold our heads high and also be members of the international community. You should make no mistake about the magnitude of this challenge. So therefore, it is in this context that I want to share with you in all humility my idea of the new Uganda, my vision of the new Uganda, my sense of how we might go about reinventing our land of birth. And for our purposes this afternoon, I will share with you a 10-point agenda of the reinvention of our country. First, let me say, I am the president of the Uganda Peoples Congress. I will tell you later why I am a member of the Uganda Peoples Congress and why I believe in the mission of the Uganda Peoples Congress. But the first thing that I want and I propose to Ugandans is something beyond the Uganda Peoples Congress. It's something beyond the political parties. It's something larger than the political class. We need nothing short of an all-embracing social movement in Uganda. Yes, there's a very important role to be played by the political parties. And yes, the Uganda Peoples Congress brings to the table a very specific orientation, ambition, and direction for our country. But we need at this moment to bring together all patriotic, democracy, hungry Ugandans. We need to bring together the political parties. We need to bring together civil society. We need to bring together religious institutions. We need the business community, especially the entrepreneurs, the small-time, medium-sized business people who are breaking their back and taking risks to produce some growth in very adverse circumstances. Yes, we need the youth. Above all, yes, we need the women. We need an all-embracing pan-Ugandan movement to achieve this reinvention and this radical renewal of our country. And by the way, just to my sister, speaking on behalf of the women in the diaspora, and to the middle young man, speaking on behalf of the youth, I cannot relate more strongly and passionately to what you laid out before us. It so happens that the last several years of my professional work internationally, among other things I've done in the past, but the recent years has actually been devoted to the agenda for youth and the agenda for women. And one of my most burning desires, my most burning ambition, having taken this agenda worldwide, having in some modest way made a contribution to so many countries around the globe in this respect, I am hungry, I am eager, I cannot wait to put that experience, that expertise, that network at the disposal of the Ugandan youth and the Ugandan women who brought it. So then, propose a social movement, an all-embracing social movement. And the change of which I speak, many people have asked me in Uganda, but where are the troops? But where are the guns? It is not possible in Uganda, especially under this regime, that you could effect change without guns, troops, and tanks. Well, I understand what they're saying. I know what they mean. But let me tell you this. Listen to me carefully. With these bare hands, on a moral platform, on a political platform, the Ugandan people are capable of prevailing over this regime. We don't need the gun. We don't need the tanks. We don't need battalions. We need a moral conviction and political mobilization with a clear sense of what we are doing and resolve we can overturn this regime. There is something among the Luo, there's equivalent in all our cultures. It is called Oborolwedo. It is called Oborolwedo. I think in Uganda it's the green fresh banana leaf. With Oborolwedo in our hand, with just that Oborolwedo in our hand, ours will be the Oborolwedo revolution. and all of us holding our Oborolwedo, from whichever culture we come from. In my particular case, I felt so humbled. I felt so privileged when none other than Mzee Tiberio Okenyi Atuoma Otuombie in the middle of Kaunda Stadium handed to me my Oborolwedo. With that Oborolwedo, we can go on. The second thing I propose to my compatriots is this. Of course, this struggle is about social, political, economic change. God knows all that you've heard described, and I could go on and on, I didn't wish to do so, about the elements of this grave national crisis, about the elements of the peril that our country faces. But let me tell you, this is more than political, social, economic struggle. This is fundamentally about the soul of our land. It is about who we are as a people. What is the essence of the Ugandan people? Let me ask you, how can it be that human beings are killed today in Uganda in the name of something called human sacrifice? Had you ever heard of that when you were growing up? No. How can it be that this becomes normal? That you pick a newspaper day after day, week after week, children are being killed in the name of something called human sacrifice. This is happening in our land today. How is it that small girls can be burned to death at Kabenja by old school Buddha Junior? And not one school after another being burned down, including kids being burned down in that school. How is it that we can have a mass destruction of people one day in Kanungu, and we've never heard any investigation, any outcome as to what happened in Kanungu? Is this normal? No. How is it you've got to tell me that we can have 33 of the citizens of Uganda on a fine morning, 10th of September last year, massacred, and armed demonstrators massacred, and the following day is business as usual in Kampala? The week after, it's as if nothing had happened in our country. How is that possible? Where is our sense of outrage? Ugandan people have lost our sense of outrage. It is a land now in which anything goes. That is the culture that Mr. Museveni has inculcated in our land. And a people who have no sense of outrage, a people in whose culture taboos have disappeared, they are no longer a people. They are lost. An important aspect of this struggle, make no mistake about this, it is the search for the soul of Uganda. It is the retrieval of the essence of us as a people. That is what we've lost. That is what we must retrieve. It is an imperative. Make no mistake about that. And then I want to say to you, thirdly, I have spoken often to the chagrin of many in Uganda. So I must explain to you. I've spoken about Luero. I've spoken about 10 September in Kampala. I've spoken about the massacre of Muslims in Mbarara, 1980. I've spoken about the Ombachi massacre. I've spoken about what has happened in northern Uganda. Let me explain to you. This is not about retribution and revenge. No amount of punishment, no amount of retribution can compensate for the innocent people who suffered in Luero. None whatsoever. And in any case, I'm a man of faith. My faith teaches me that revenge belongs to the Lord on high. Not to me. Not to me. It's not about revenge. It's not about punishment. Not about retribution. It is about accountability. And more than accountability, let me tell you, what is our destination? The destination where I want us to go, I want us to climb until we reach the top of a hill. The hill of reconciliation and healing. That is where I want us to be. And when we reach that hill, we shall, in humility, prayerfully, tearfully, finally we shall be able to embrace each other on that hill. But you know that hill must necessarily pass through the valley of sorrow, the valley of reckoning, the valley of acknowledgement. That is the road that leads to the hill of reconciliation and healing. We cannot leapfrog our way. There's no helicopter that can take us from where we are straight to the hill of reconciliation and healing. This therefore means that the people of Luero, their suffering must be acknowledged. That it happened. That this is the experience you went through. Who did it must be acknowledged. So and so, in whatever circumstances, committed this wrong. Otherwise, what are you reconciling over? If nothing went wrong. What is the subject of reconciliation? If nobody is responsible for what happened, if there's no acknowledgement about what happened, who is reconciling with who? This acknowledgement is what will unlock a hardened heart, which is pressed down with anger, with bitterness, with a sense of injustice visited upon them. It's like that Negro spiritual. Nobody knows the trouble I have seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Yet nobody knows the trouble I have seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm down, sometimes I'm up. Oh yes, my Lord. Sometimes I'm almost to the ground. Yes, my Lord. You hear that? Yes. Why is that important? It is because those who have suffered so badly, like the slaves had suffered so badly, they were saying nobody acknowledges this. Nobody knows what I've gone through. But the Lord, He's the only one who knows what I've gone through. Amen. That heart needs to be unlocked. And it is acknowledgement. It is humility in acknowledgement. It is the valley of sorrow that unlocks.